I've got a real treat for you today. Sorry about the mess. This is my outside man cave or whatever. Anyway, I just built this rostock Max. It has a new extruder design, and I've also made some modifications to it where I've added a pulley with a guide on it. Anyway, I think this is all calibrated. Anyway, I'm going to treat you guys with how to see it run. Now, this is the rostock Max by See Me CNC, and it's got a really nice layout. I went ahead and put a larger dial on that, yeah. And I also had to make a few of these. See if I can get it in there clear. A few of these spacers for the washers, but this cheapskate method is pretty neat on here. Anyway, and the whole unit's fairly stable. The only other thing I've done is I added a wipe area here, which comes in handy, and I made it so that it heats up from 200 to 200 degrees when it runs and goes back to 190 while it's waiting. It's just a lot easier and a lot better for it to run at 190 if it's not moving feedstock, because the hot end has an issue with clogging at high temperatures, at least for me anyways. So anyway, enjoy this treat of watching this run a calibration oozebane test, and it should work pretty good. Hold on, let me put the camera down here and enjoy. So right now what it's doing is it is going to the wipe area. The wipe area, I guess, still needs some work, but anyway. I think I need to make the wipe area go down lower, but watch this video. This is pretty cool. The lights are something I added from the car hardware section at the local store, and the table's been coated with floor acrylic. That seems to work good for me. People have different methods. I can't get it to stick directly, but floor acrylic's thin enough. It seems to work pretty good, and it works good if you wipe it on really thin. Anyway, this video is going to be pretty cool because it's going to show you how clean the new extruder handles the ooze factor. The old extruder, even though the old extruder was a lot more powerful with force, this extruder seems to be doing okay. And I don't know how fast this print's going to get, but this is just to test the ooze setup. The ooze has been reduced. My retraction settings are 8 millimeters. I think 20 millimeters a second for 20 millimeters retraction, and 8 millimeters back, and then I have a 1,000 feed rate in F. It's insane how fast this is for moving at Z feed rate. You'll see here in a second. I have it go up 10 at 1,000. That seems to tear the feedstock. I mean the filament out of the hot end, pretty good. That's quick, look at that. Now the second layer goes on faster. This is comparable in performance to my Ultimaker, but the Z-axis is just insanely fast. And the ooze is a lot cleaner than on my Ultimaker. I still like my Ultimaker, and I still like to use Cura, but this is using Slicer, and I've had a lot of issues with Slicer having clean prints, it seems to be doing okay. Oh, I have an industrial strength scoop fan on here too to add for cooling, which is necessary before you do any bridging. And I think also before you do any ooze setup, you should have a fan put on these things. Just to give you an idea of the size of the printer, there's a can of soda. It's just a huge printer. And once you make the modifications I described in the description, you'll be set up and ready to go. I got this week and a half ago. It took me 22 hours to build, but that's just because I think I didn't get all the roller bearing parts, or somehow I misplaced them, and I had to reprint them. That, and I had time with family and stuff. I know some people can do it in 8 hours, but you really want to take your time and build this correctly. If you do, this machine runs beautifully. Notice how there's virtually no ooze coming out of there, and the feedstock's pretty much just torn. I mean the I'm confusing feedstock and filament. Filament's pretty much torn. It's just amazing. This is a really good quality print. Here's another print that came off of it. This is a replacement part I have for their easy extruder. It allows you to fit the pulley piece into the bearing. There's a little more room to it. Anyway, I recommend using this or cleaning up their ezstruder. Anyway, you can look at my description for more information. That's just a really good print. I'm beyond words. They CME CNC seems to really care about the product. It's a little painful to set up, but the instructions are clear enough. You got to give them credit. The technology is changing so rapidly. They have a very decent manual. It's not like the old days where you had one printer come out for 2 or 3 years. It's pretty rapidly changing these days. But this is a very excellent print. Alright, we're done. Let's look at this print in detail, and this is pretty cool. It just tears off, and there, that's the part. There's only a little tiny hair right there.